What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another terrain video. This time, we're going to be doing shipping containers. Now, shipping containers, they're really versatile. You can see them all over the place on all sorts of different tables, whether it's Gaslands or any other kind of post-apocalyptic or even like sci-fi board game type of thing. So they work well for all sorts of things. For this video, I'm going to show you how I like to paint, detail, rust up all my shipping containers for my table. Now, one of the really cool things about shipping containers is that they come in all sorts of shapes, all sorts of sizes. You have these ones that are coming from Sable Badger. These ones I'm going to be working with specifically are from Michael Crossman and Creepy Hero Studios. But if you drive around, you can see big ones, small ones. There's the ones that go on the big boats that can fit vehicles in. So don't let anybody tell you that they're not the right scale or not the right size. Hell, you can get shipping containers delivered to your house to pack up all your extra crap. So don't let anybody tell you it's not the right size. So I've already got these ones all primed up and ready to go. I'm going to get them painted up using a couple different paints. Monument Hobbies, of course. Got some war paint from the Army Painters. I also have some of the Citadel technical paint. All of them just going to be shooting through my airbrush, make it really quick and easy. So let's get these things going, and then we will start getting them all detailed, rusted up, and looking good for the Wastelands on any Gaslands table. Alright, we're all painted up and ready to go. When I first printed these off, I didn't have my printer set right, so you can see some of them were kind of warped and stuff. That's okay. I'm just going to put some corrosion on there, kind of make it heavier around these cracks and stuff, just to make it look like it's really, really worn down, and then I'll base them so they lay flat. So no worries on that one. Got all sorts of different colors going on. Next, we're going to be moving on to some weathering before we get on to the graffiti. Yeah, before we move on to the graffiti. Now, I've got a ton of different Waterslide decals from AK Interactive, from Fallout Hobbies, from Green Stuff World. All these, I think I have more Waterslide decals than I have tires, and that's kind of scary because I have a 3D printer. So first we're going to get all of these weathered up with, it says the Citadel shade, but it's not. It just started off as the Citadel Seraphim Sepia shade, and I added some black and some brown ink to it to make it darker, to kind of make my own, try to make my own agrax. Which, especially if you're doing some stuff like this, I really recommend kind of doing your own, because it can get kind of expensive, slathering all this stuff on these just to make them weathered and stuff. It can go through the bottle pretty quick. So, made my own stuff for this. So, we're going to get this all and then we will move on to some of the water slides before we start doing some of the more corrosion stuff. And then we'll get more rust on there and everything else. Yeah, and these things are just going to turn out awesome. So, let's start off with the weathering, and then we'll move on to the decals. Alright, so we're all grunged up, weathered up a little bit, at least with the first coating of it. Got some of the graffiti on there, got some labels on there for what these containers had or have currently. The ones that didn't print out well, they were kind of wobbly when I was doing it, so I just based them up real quick. And I used some of the Gray Earth from Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl for the bottom part, just to make it look kind of gravelly. I'm going to dust over it to give it more of the ground effect for these. I'm going to take care of those in a second. But yeah, these are all looking really good. Like how the graffiti and stuff's going on there. Now, if you're ever looking at the shipping containers as they're driving by, like on a train or something, you'll notice that a lot of times the graffiti artist will do it like a white in the background, makes it kind of stand out more, and you'll find that that really does help out anytime you're doing any kind of terrain builds and using any of these Waterslide decals for the graffiti. It does make it pop out a lot more. So next, we're moving on to the adding some more rust. Really going to grunge these things up a lot. Going to be using the AK Corrosion texture. This stuff goes on as kind of a paste. I'm going to put it on relatively thick and let it dry, and then we'll dust it with some more rust coloring and maybe even use some pigment in a little bit. But yeah, let's get some AK Corrosion on there, get these things all grunged and rusted up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so the corrosion texture is all dry and kind of crunchy on there, looking really good. It gets really, really dark, that's why you need to dry brush it on there, or dry brush some more rust stuff on there. But yeah, really converting these shipping containers from what they were to what they are now, just looking great. So next, I'm going to dry brush over the top of the corrosion texture with the Citadel Dry Riser Rust. Always looks like pizza rust to me, but whatever. And then I'm also going to do a few more spots with the AK Light Rust Wash. This is, obviously I've used a lot. This stuff works fantastic. So first we're going to do it with the dry brush on this, then I'm going to do a little bit more with the AK, and then we'll see where we're at, see if we can get some pigment on there, and yeah, these things are getting to the point where they're going to be done. Alright, so I got the dry brushing done. I got a little bit of the light rust wash on there as well. Looking really good. Dries out really well. Makes it look really, really like old rust and stuff. But yeah, these things are coming along just peachy. Next, I'm going to be doing a little bit of the dusting from the AK accumulated dust splatter effect. Use this on all my cars and stuff. Stuff just works out really, really well. Really, really like it. But yeah, these things turned out just fantastic. One more step till we're done, and then these things will be ready for the table. These things they're solid resin, and they are solid, heavy duty. They're not going to move around if you bump them and stuff like some of the lighter weight 3D prints do. If they're hollow and stuff, once you bump them, they'll shift around. But yeah, these things they're hefty. You could do some damage with these. So let's get some of the dust on there, and yeah, then these things should be good to go. Alright, and there we have it. Some 3D printed shipping containers all weathered up and rusted up and ready for the wastelands. These things just turned out absolutely fantastic. Even the ones that I screwed up trying to get the settings right on my printer, getting these base and stuff on there, still just turned out absolutely awesome. Really love how the rust and stuff worked out on these. Even like right in here with the big gash and stuff, looks like something just ran into it and smashed it all up. If you are looking for these shipping containers, check out Creepy Hero Studios. Michael Crossman does an absolutely fantastic job. I downloaded the STL file, printed these myself, but you can get these on his Etsy page. Definitely check him out, all sorts of really good stuff. Tell him I said hey. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, do me a favor, hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're terrain builds, vehicle builds, whatever. So if that's for you, please hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds and my terrain pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up, see what else I've created, hell, you can even check out my custom builds if you want to. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.